Hey, what's up, guys? This is the second episode of the still untitled Parents podcast with Leah and Josh. We are looking for a title. If you go to today's vlog on the Hashnasi YouTube channel, I talk about different titles, some recommended by you guys, some that we were talking about. I was a little favoring the No More Fruit Snacks podcast, Leah.
Shredded cheese for dinner.
Shredded cheese for dinner podcast, which I think is hilarious. I think that is very good. Very, very inside parent knowledge. Because there's many a time where the kid's just like, no, I'm just gonna eat this cheese. Cheese? I like cheese.
Yeah, but shredded only.
But shredded only. No,
sometimes he asks for triangle cheese, though.
Dude, the triangle, he's not wrong. That is some good cheese. Like,
really?
The Laughing Cow, the soft Swiss cheese. I'm not saying it's not artisan or anything like that, but it's good cheese. Eat that with a little bit of like the salami, the pre-cut non-artisan. It's got to be non-artisan. You know, you're living that off-the-shelf grocery store lifestyle when you're doing that.
I wonder if you actually pitted like $30 per pound cheese up against.
Of course. Oh, like if you did like a blind taste test. Oh, that is diabolical. People would be able to figure it out because of the texture, though. The texture is very uniform and non-artisan. You'd have to like prepare a cracker and hand it to somebody, kind of thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's amazing. Ooh, man. There's a video in there somewhere on that one. So we're talking about what today? We're getting angry about little Einsteins. Is that
You're angry about little
I'm
Einsteins.
angry about little Einsteins. So So we cut back on Ben's TV, and we had to do a length of time where he had no TV to rob him. It's like when you drink too much, you just gotta throttle back so that when you drink again, it's like the first time.
It wasn't that he was watching too much TV. It was that he was watching things like Dinosaur Wars or something, where all the characters were defiant,
super violent, defiant dinosaurs.
Right. Well, it was the dinosaur trainers or whatever.
Right.
And of course, all that stuff is really exciting, and it's dinosaurs, so he really likes it.
Right.
And in order to get him off of it, we had to just give him no TV at all.
Got to wean him off of it, cold turkey, cut him from the TV.
And then he was super thankful for the educational shows we were finally allowing him to watch after the TV hiatus was over.
Right. So one of the shows, among like 6 or so shows that Leah picked out, one was like Sid the Science Kid.
I do want to note that taking away TV from a kid is a punishment for the parents as much as...
Right, because we got to now supply... We have to supplant the thing in which he is now going to do with that time that he would normally be in front of the TV. Which is not value-added time. We gave him educational things and toys made of wood that will largely solve his problems, as we think to our parenting brain. So one of the shows is Little Einsteins. Little Einsteins, as far as I can tell, insofar as I can tell, of the 4 or so episodes that I've heard. And it is heard. Like, I'm sitting over at my computer working on something else, and I can hear this. All I hear is this repetitive music. Today was this oboe over and over again. And they kept saying, that's the sound of the ghosts, run! And they kept running away from these ghosts, apparently ghosts playing oboes. And then the only way you knew where the right direction was when they were playing, like, the Swan Lake song. And they're like, oh, that's not the sound of the ghost. Run that direction. But every one of the episodes seems to feature prominently some kind of song, like of the classical variety. And I was thinking...
Wait.
Yeah.
You're telling me that's not the same episode?
No.
Watching over and over again?
No, those are all separate episodes which feature some different classical song.
So he's not actually watching the same episode about music on a loop?
No. Because it was a ghost theme one. I thought it was like a Halloween themed
This
thing.
is news to me.
Right. And like some of the kids play musical instruments, which again, there's no separation of the arts from science generally, particularly at the academic level of where this lives. The problem is that there's very little science. There's a whole lot of music and a whole lot of the arts, but very little science, particularly theoretical or practical. Like, they're not even touching on anything Einstein-related. It's
I have
purely...
heard nothing about the Pythagorean theorem.
Well, it's not even Pythagorean. Like, you don't even have any, like, physics. Not even practical physics, let alone theoretical physics.
They are not even naming elements from the periodic
table. Right. So for example, they're going through their little submarine, they're walking through it, and they pass this like frequency wave, like a sound wave, right? And it shows their submarine passing through the sound waves. And at no time does someone say the words frequency or sound waves at all at any time. So you're left with just like, well, okay. Like,
I
no,
bet
that's
their
just the
submarine's
waves.
not even a real submarine.
Yeah, that's just waves then. Like, what waves of what? Like, what is this? Like, here's a golden opportunity. And it wasn't even a proper, like, peaks and valleys frequency wave. It was just a wave with peaks. There was no valleys. So it was kind of like,
how do you have
what are you
peaks
even
without
doing
valleys?
Here? Well, it could be a hyperbole. A hyperbole? Or a parabola. Sorry, parabola. Right? Parabola is just a base with a peak and then a valley.
In order to have peaks...
No valley. I mean, the
Then it would just be one peak.
No, that's the curve. That's the grading on the curve is a parabola.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be a multiple...
Well, that's not a sound wave. A sound wave requires a peak and a valley. That is the wavelength. That is the frequency. Frequency is how many peaks and valleys. You can't determine frequency if you don't have a valley. It's just peak, 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 peak. Right? There's no valley. It's just a flat... It goes flat, bottoms out, and then peaks, and then bottoms out and peaks. It looked like a heartbeat. Like, no, that's not right either, because that's also peak and valley. I don't know what they were doing. Again,
I'm fairly certain you're wrong about this one.
No, I'm not. Okay, we're going to take this offline, and I'm going to show her, but no. There was no valley, it was all peak, and the thing is flying in the middle. Anyway, I don't want to belabor this. There's very little science on this show, which upsets me because it's called Little Einsteins. It should be called Little Beethovens, or Little Brahms, or Little... whatever. Bach.
Little Box.
Little Box.
That's a terrible name.
What's the make-believe cereal for kids that's supposed to be the classical performer? Brahm. Oh, man. Anyway, I'm not going to remember it.
Oh, I just put something in my mouth.
What are you eating? Just mom life? Just mom things?
I'm on the mom diet where you just eat things that your kids leave.
Okay. So, for instance, she'll be dining on this, like, browned apple that Ben just carved the middle out and then got to the sticker and then decided to, like, start over here. That's mom life. Gets to the sticker and goes... I don't have an adult to remove the sticker, so I'm just not going to eat it.
He doesn't eat all the way around the apple because
that's where his hand is.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't like to get his hand dirty. He's a real particular kid. And I can tell already that Edison's going to be completely different.
Totally different.
Edison's going to be like, I'm going to get dirty. Everything is squishy.
I'm going to squeeze it and shove it in my mouth and eat it. Yes. I am fully aware that Ben is much more like me. So much more like me. Ben.
I wasn't a messy kid.
I didn't say you were, but I'm saying like Ben is very much like me. Edison is less like I was as a child. Which only leaves you. I'm going back to...
So you're saying you're not saying it, but you actually are saying it?
I'm saying the math works out on its own. I don't need to say it. We all know where we're going with this.
So I'm driving along on my way to, I think, work or something like that. And I hear a siren coming from what I think is behind my car.
You're just going to work.
Yeah, and immediately I'm like, oh, crap. I'm getting pulled over. Right?
Right, because that's everything you think.
The kids aren't in the car. Like, Ben's at school,
right.
Edison's at my mom's, whatever.
Right. You don't want the kids in your car when you're rolling dirty, anyway.
So, I'm looking behind me. I'm looking around me. There's nothing.
No lights.
Yeah, there's...
No sirens.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even other cars.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's coming from an intersection ahead and I'm just not really hearing it spatially correctly, which is totally possible.
Makes sense for you, yeah.
Happens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
for you, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really good with anything spatially, so...
Yeah. No internal compass.
I literally get lost in the mall.
Yeah, that's really bad.
I walk out of a store and I go the opposite way that I was originally going.
I want to see you with a Thomas guide.
Like the spiral bound Thomas guide?
Like so that was one Thomas guide, but that's a really like zoomed out map. Like a Thomas guide my dad had was like this big, and you open it and it like unfurled like big.
That's
like
how,
a map.
That's how my family got stuck up that one.
Yeah, I believe it.
There was a
ancient cartographer said there was a path. That's how you get through.
Nobody in my family sounds like that.
I think so.
Who?
Old Pappy.
I don't even
Old Pappy was in the back.
It was my uncle. And my uncle is relatively young still.
Sure. And you all carted up this goat path in your Mercedes.
Well, I wasn't there.
It was an SUV Mercedes, with respect.
And it was a caravan.
A caravan. Right. You had a Lexus, a Mercedes.
And
all SUVs.
My uncle, who was, keep in mind, an HP hardware engineer.
Correct.
Okay.
What does that tell? So what is that supposed to mean exactly to you?
He's got to be good at reading things on a plan.
That's not what a map is at all. A map doesn't know where you're going. It suggests a bulleted list of items on how to get there. A map says, here's the world. Explore
Google
it.
Maps does.
Or don't explore it.
I just tell
Your
Google
choice.
Maps where I am. Sometimes I don't even need to tell Google Maps where I am. It knows where I am, and I just tell it where I'm going to go, and then it gives me a bulleted list of things that I need to do to get there.
There's a lot of technology working in that particular little microcosm that people spent, like they had rooms, like they had semi-truck trailers full of technology to get to the point that we have something like this in our hand that did what you were talking about.
Anyway, he looked at a map and he saw this road that looked like it was a shortcut from the bottom of the mountain to the top.
Yeah, it's like old Sneed's Hideaway.
Yeah.
Like, it's right off the highway. I don't know what the problem is.
It was this tiny dirt road.
The Shepherd's Shortcut.
And then it was like blocked at some point by
because they're
car.
like, nobody's going to come up here. Then somebody did, and they're like, well, now we got to put up a fence.
And then they had to drive
back
down,
down
the whole caravan.
Out. Yep.
The whole
back
caravan.
it out. Back it out. We're not playing that game. You back it out.
Yeah, I'm so glad I wasn't on that trip.
If I was on that trip, I don't know what I would have done. I would have been losing my mind. Or I would have just popped in a four-wheel drive and just took off.
Anyway, so I'm looking around for maybe there's an ambulance or something coming up to the
right, we're still talking about your yeah.
So I'm preparing to pull over because I hear a siren, and then there's no siren, there's nothing comes up. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm hearing things. And then it happens again, maybe like 10, 15 minutes later. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what in the heck is happening? And keep in mind, this isn't when I'm in my teens and 20s listening to rap music,
right? And
the background music,
right? When it
has sirens, and you're like,
right? Because you've heard sirens, but when you heard shots fired in the hip hop song, you didn't go ducking. It was just because you had heard a siren, and you're like, that is accurate to what I know sirens to sound like,
right?
And so you freaked out. Yeah. Everybody does that. Yeah.
And can you just imagine, looking back now, so many people constantly paranoid that there were police around them because of some song being on the top 5 radio
I know. It happens. It still happens.
Oh, but I don't listen to the radio anymore, and I don't listen to music anymore.
But I'm saying, that hasn't changed. Like, we just aged out of that demographic. But that demographic is still moving along, doing that whole siren in music game.
I've aged right into the Audible demographic, where I spend an obscene amount of money on books that I listen to.
Mm-hmm. How do you like Audible?
I really like Audible.
Do you know that Audible is sponsoring this podcast?
No, I wish Audible was sponsoring this podcast.
Well, here's the funny thing. Audible sponsors anybody. You just post a link from your Amazon into the description. If you're interested in Audible, there's going to be a link in the description. You can check it out.
This is so awkward.
I know!
I really do love Audible.
I know.
And I didn't use anyone's
That was not planned.
affiliate
That was not a plan.
But I didn't use anyone's affiliate link.
There are homeless people that have Audible links that they're handing out. Again, old Sneeds Audible account where he recommends the greatest homeless stories of timeless nature.
Somebody could be making so much money off of...
Because they don't make a ton of money. They just make your initial... They get a little bonus. They get a little piece of the action on your first sign-up. That's what happens.
What do you mean the first sign-up? Because it's a monthly subscription.
No. After the first...
And then I also sometimes, if I get through my, like, one book a month, I also sometimes buy an additional book.
Oh, my God. So I don't even know... So, science experiment. If you guys would like to check the link below and join Audible, we'll tell you how much money we're getting off of it next month. That would be awesome. Anyway, sorry. Continue. I sidetracked the story because there is a prop and a whole thing that goes along with this.
So that happens again and again.
Yeah.
And then I realize there's something that belongs to my child in the back of my car.
There's a police officer in my car. What's funny about this to me is that you think this sounds like a police officer.
Well, it was in my trunk.
This is the most, like... Remember Chips? The TV show Chips? Like, this is what that sound is to me. It's like the most nondescript emergency vehicle. They don't even use this sound anymore. They use that sound now with the white noise. Have you heard that?
Oh,
No?
I haven't.
No. Anyway, this is the truck. I'm holding up a truck for those that can't see it. It was a little toy fire truck. One of Ben's favorite fire trucks that... Who bought this for him?
I did.
Yeah. So you are your own worst enemy in this particular story.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm of two minds about this because I feel so dumb getting so scared. You know that gut-wrenching feeling when you think, I'm drinking that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm actually drinking that and you took that from me. Give that back.
Sorry. Your story is going on so long. This is the longest I had to sit here and listen to you in ages. Don't start it again.
No.
I don't even know why you're getting near it.
It's just because, like, that gut-wrenching feeling when you think you're getting pulled over.
Yeah.
And you're running through all the things in your head. Like, what could actually be wrong? I didn't run anything. Like, nothing on my car is broken.
Right.
In
the second or so it takes you to cut through all of those list of things, and you reach the button and you go, I've got nothing. I better start crying.
Oh, I don't normally get tickets, so.
No, I know.
Yeah, police officers tend to be very nice to me.
I know.
I very rarely ever get a ticket if I'm pulled over. So, thank you, police officers.
Yes. So, do you have? I think we're going to wrap this up with a favorite quote of the child. Do you have one? I know I have one.
Well, this week Ben just kept telling me how I was going to have another baby.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun for you.
Yeah, he said you're going to have. No, actually, what he said was, I have teeth. Edison doesn't have teeth.
That's true.
But Edison's going to grow up, and then he's going to have teeth, and then he's going to be a big brother.
That is exactly how it works. I mean, not in Irish families, but that is how it works on the regular.
So I was explaining to him that in order for Edison to become a big brother, I would have to have another baby. And then he said, you're going to have another baby.
He's like, don't you understand the math in this?
And
I said, already explained the science
here. I'm not going to have another baby.
Little brother gets teeth, meaning there must be a new little brother.
Yeah. And so for some reason he thinks that my mom said that, but there's no way that my mom said that I was going to have another baby because I don't think she wants to take care of another one of these.
No, she doesn't.
While I go to work.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Oh, my baby.
Well, I'm going to let Leah run off, and I'm going to leave you with my favorite quote of Ben, or if you can stay.
No, go.
You know, it's up to you.
No, go ahead.
You decide what you're going to do. Well, take that and go. I don't want to hear that in the background right now.
Wow. So,
from the book of Ben here, we were sitting down having breakfast one day, and Ben says, I need a knife. And I said, you don't need a knife. And he goes, I need a knife to cut my cinnamon roll. I said, no, you don't. Just use your hands. And then I actively went and teared a little piece off of the cinnamon roll and then another piece. And he watched me intently for a little while, and then 5 or so minutes go by, and he looks at me and goes, can you put the cinnamon roll back together? I don't like this. That is my son. Well, anyway, guys, that is the second episode of the still untitled parenting podcast. we'd love to have an idea. I think I'm leaning towards Leah with the shredded cheese for dinner. I don't know why. That just makes me laugh so much because it's happened so many times. And it's literally just give me that cheese. But hey, if you have a better idea, we would love to hear it. If you go over to the vlog, or just post down in the link of this video if you don't see this in your podcasting and you just see it online on YouTube. Sorry about the cutout of video there in the middle. I apologize. But we'd love to hear your opinions on anything relating to parenting or this podcast or what we should name it. So if you could, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, like, comment, and share this to all your friends. And yeah, that's a fun one. Enjoyed it. So great. We'll talk to you guys later. See ya.